Welcome in the second lecture of Python programming. In this video lecture, I am going to discuss different types of Python operators and how these Python operators are going to be implemented in Python programming. I will be discussing that. So first, if I want to define what are the operators, so you can say that operators are the constructs used to perform operations on the operands of any expression. So for example, there is an expression c equals to a plus b, which is given over here. You can see here c equals to a plus b. In this expression, mathematical expression, you see here that plus is an operator and a and b are the operands. So this plus operator is performing the addition operation on two numbers. Such type of operators are used in Python programming and they are of different types. Number one, arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, logical operators, identity operators, membership operators, bitwise operators. So these are the different types of operators you can say in Python. I am going to discuss each and every operator. First I will tell what are the theoretical aspects behind each operator, and then after I will be implementing all these operators in Anaconda platform on the Jupyter notebook by implementing very simple programs to understand that how the Python operators can be used in the programming. So now I am coming to the arithmetic operations. Arithmetic operations, we have four fundamental mathematical operations, that are plus, means it is performing the addition operation, very simple, and minus, it is performing the subtraction operation, this is performing the multiplication operation, and this is performing the division operation. So these are the four basic mathematical operations, arithmetic operations on a different operands. I am giving here few examples of these operators. Here you can see this is a Python program. A equals to 10, b equal to 20, and c equals to a plus b. This is performing the addition operation. It's very simple, and accordingly it is performing minus, means subtraction operation. This is performing the multiplication operation, and it is performing the division operation. I want to show you all these programs in a very simple way on the Anaconda platform. That means I am going to declare here that a equals to 10 and b equals to 20, for example, and then after print c, and but before that you have to define what is c equals to a plus b. I am going to execute this program. Just see here, it is giving 30. That means 10 plus 20 is exactly, it is equal to 30. So this is addition operation that is being performed. Okay, after that I am coming to a equals to 10 and b equals to 20. Then after c equals to a minus b, it will result into minus 10. So I am just displaying this number c. So when I execute this operation, this is minus 10. Once again I am going with the another program, a equals to 10 and b equals to 20, c equal to a into b. Then I am just going to display c. So it is c. Now execute this program and you will get the answer 200. That means this is the simple multiplication of a and b. Okay, now I am defining here a equals to 20, for example, and b equals to 10, and then after c equals to a by b. That will be implementing the division operation. So it is equal to c. I am just displaying the value of c, and it is equal to 2. So all the operations, basic mathematical operations, are being performed over here. So I will just display you here that all the arithmetic operators which are explained over here have been implemented in Anaconda platform Jupyter notebook with us very simple programs. Now I am coming to few other arithmetic operations or operators. The another one is floor division. So the first thing is that how to differentiate between the division and floor division. Means division is this and floor division is this. So what is happening with this floor division? For example, A equals to 5 and B equals to 2, and I am performing here A by B. It is giving the answer 2.5. I have done this program previously, but the floor value of this one. So that means floor division means it will be giving the floor value of the division whatever is there, like here happened in this example A by B, which is equal to 2.5, and the floor value of 2.5 is 2. So the answer will be 2. I am going to implement this with a very simple program. You just see here that A equals to 10 and B equals to 3, and I am just going to implement that C equals to A double division like floor division by B, and then after I am coming to print C. So just see here what is happening. It is giving you 3. If I remove 1 slash from here, it will be giving 3.3333. So this is the way by which you can see that what is the difference between the floor division and a simple division. Floor division will give you the floor value of the division answer whatever is there. So I am now coming to the another operator. The one is modulus operator. It will be calculating the remainder, and this is exponentiation operator. Means for example, if I am performing 5 modulus 2, it will be giving you answer 1 because you are getting remainder in this operation 1. Double star means it is calculating the exponentiation. Means 5 double star 2 means it is equal to 5 square, that is 5 into 5, and it will be equal to 25. Now I am going to implement all these two operations with the simple with a very simple program that you see here, that for example A equals to 5 and B equals to 2 and then C equals to A modulus B, and just perform the C. I execute this program and you are getting here 1. That means the remainder is 1. So this is performing the remainder. Okay, now I am coming to the another operator, which was how can you calculate the exponentiation. So for example, A equals to 5 and B equals to 2 and C equals to A double star B. Then after I am printing it, it will be 25 as I have told you. I am going to execute this program here and it is giving you 25. So that means it is correctly calculating the A to the power B, which is an exponentiation operation. So these are the different arithmetical operations that you have in Python. Now I am coming to different other operations, assignment operators. So basically assignment operator means if I am writing here A equals to 5, that means 5, the value 5 is assigned to A, or am I writing here A equals to 5.5, that means 5.5 is assigned to A. So equal to is normally treated as assignment operator, but along with this you can perform other operations with a very simplistic way. For example, if I have A equals to 5, just see here A equals to 5, and then after I want to add 3 in this variable or in this value, then I will be writing A equals to A plus 3 and then after print A. So it will be giving you the answer 8, but it can be written as here also. Means you can write this expression A equals to A plus 3 as A plus equal to 3. You can write in this way. So now I will show you in the programming that can we perform this operation. So I am writing here A equals to 5 and a equal to a plus 3. That means I want to add 3 in this number. So what will be there? Print a. I am executing this program. Simply this is giving 8. Now I am copying it from this place and I am pasting it. I will be using here another operation, that is a plus equals to 3. Now I want to see what is going to happen. You see here that it is also 8. The same concept can be applicable with all the operations, like it can be used as a minus equal to, multiplication equal to. You know that what is the operation performed by minus, multiplication, division, or this percentage means remainder calculation. So you can perform all these operations in this way also, as I have told you in this example. Okay, so this was the assignment operator. This floor division can also be used, and the exponentiation can also be used with that scenario. Now I am coming to comparison operators. Comparison operators are going to compare two values basically. So these are the different other comparison operators. For example, you see here that double equal to, it is comparing that two values are equal to each other or not. This is not equal, this is greater than, this is less than, this is greater than or equal to, and this is less than or equal to. So these are the different operations, comparison operators that can be applied on the different values. So for example, I want to explain this with certain examples. You see here that a equals to 3, b equals to 4, and print a double equals to b. Just see on this program. I am going to do this program in the programming. That means a equals to 3 and b equals to 4. Then after, just write here, check the condition that print a double equal to b. I am going to execute this program. You see here the answer is false. Now I am changing this value to 3. Just see here, this is true. That means a and b are equal to each other. Similarly, you can perform different relation operations on the different values. For example, I am just going to explain you different other things, other operators. I am just copying it and pasting it here. For example, b equals to 4. So I am writing here a is greater than b. So what will happen? It is false. Yes, it is false because a is 3 and b is equal to 4. Now I am going to change it. A is greater than, a is less than b. So what will happen? True. This statement is true. Now I am coming with a is less than or equal to b. You check it, it is true also. But if you go for a is greater than or equal to b, so it is false. So as per the values available or stored inside the different variables, you can perform different operations which are related to the what the values are stored in the different variables. They can find a relation in between these two. So which relation is true? That will be true if the condition is being satisfied, otherwise it will be false. So similarly, you have many programs like this, like this, like this. All these programs are performed accordingly, and the answers are true or false as per the situation in that particular program. So these are the comparison operators where you can apply equal, not equal, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to kind of operators in different variables for their values. And now I am coming to logical operators. Logical operator means this combines basically two conditional statements. For example, here you can see there are three operators: AND operator, OR operator, and NOT operator. So as you may have some idea about these operations AND, OR, and NOT. So what is happening in case of the AND operator? I am just explaining here. If the condition 1 is true and condition 2 is true, then the final answer will be true. Otherwise, in all the cases, like if it is false and it is true, if it is true and if it is false, then and both of the conditions are false, in all the cases it will be false. So if you have this condition 1, condition 2, and this is the AND operation, then you can see that only one condition is true. That means both of the conditions must be true for AND operation. Now I am coming to OR operation. In case of OR operation, at least one condition must be true. So in that case, it will be true. This condition is also true, and this condition is also true. Only one condition is false, where all the conditions are false. So these are the different operations. Accordingly, AND and OR will be executed. Now I am coming to this program. Just try to understand that what is the functionality of this AND operation. X equal to 5. Now I am giving here two conditions: x is greater than 3 and x is less than 10. Okay, so just see here that the value of x is 5. So x is greater than 3, yes, it is okay, means it is true. And then after x is less than 10, it is also true. So both the conditions are true, you are getting the answer true. Accordingly, we have different operations over here. I will be implementing and all the operators over here. But before that, I will tell you one thing. The NOT operation means if the condition is true, it will become false. If the condition is false, then it will become true. So these are the different operations performed by AND, OR and NOT. Now I am going to implement a very simple program and try to understand that how can we implement these AND, OR and NOT operations. So I am giving here one thing. For example, if you have x equals to 5 on the same example, and then after print and x is less than 3 and second condition, x is less than 10. So you see here that x is less than 3. For this, because the value of x is 5, this condition is false, and x is less than 10, it is true. So false and true, the final answer will be false. I am going to execute this program. You see here that the answer is false. Now I am going to correct this, make it true. Condition x is greater than 3. Now see, both the conditions are true, it will be giving you the true answer, right? Now I am going to implement this OR operation. I am writing here OR, both the conditions are true, yes, it is giving true. Now I am going to make it false. X is less than 3, it is false. But now here it is giving true. Why? Because at least one condition must be true. So this is false, but this is true. That's why you are getting here true. For making it false, both the conditions, means condition 1 and condition 2, must be false in case of the OR. Now I will apply NOT operation over here. For example, you see here that this complete operation, this complete expression has a value true, means it is giving you true value. Now I am going to apply NOT over here. So you just apply here NOT, and then after see, after execution, it has become false. It was true before NOT, but whenever I have applied NOT, it has become false. So this is the implementation of different operations, right? Now I am coming to identity operators. Identity operators means they are is and is not. Is and is not. Basically, these are used to compare the objects. You see here that x equals to 5. You know that x equals to 5. That means x is an integer. And type of x is int. So this statement is true. That's why the answer you get true. And if you write here is not, then it is false. So you are getting here false. So you have two operators, is and is not. They are used for comparing the different objects in the Python. I will implement it with a very simple example. You see here that for example, x equals to 10 and print that X is int, right? Okay, so this is just giving a type. I'm just writing here type because type will be the answer. So type X is in int, is int. You have to write here is int. So it is giving you the answer true. It is giving you the answer true. But is float, it will give you the answer false. It is false. But if you write here type X is not float, it is false. Now when I execute this, it is true. Type X is not float because it is an integer. So this statement is basically true. That's why the answer is true. So you can apply is and is not operators in Python in this way also. Okay, now I am coming to membership operators. Membership operators are used to check whether the values exist in a sequence or not. So you have two operators, in and not in. In and not in. You have a list over here, a equals to 10, 20, 30 and 40, and then after I am printing here that 10 in A. Yes, it is true that 10 is available in this list A, so it will become true. Now 10 not in A, it is false because this statement is not true. So you can implement this in Python also. I'm just trying to execute this program. For example, if you have a list A equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, and then after I am printing here print 10 in A. So after execution it is true, but if I am writing here not in A because it is available, so it will become false. So it is giving you the false, right? So these are the Python operators, membership operators. Okay, now I am coming to the most important operators, and these are bitwise operators. Basically all these operators are working on the binary digits of the particular number. So you have the first operator, bitwise AND operator. I am going to explain the functionality behind it. If A equals to 9 and B equals to 3, so what will be the binary of this number? Binary of A equals to 9. Binary of A equals to 9 means 1 0 0 1. This will be the binary of A equals to 9, and B is 0 0 1 1. Now perform the AND operator. 1 and 1, it will become 1. 1 and 0, it will be 0. 0 and 0, it will be 0. 0 and 1, it will be 0. So here in this case, if you convert it into decimal, you will get the answer 1. This is the logic behind it. Now perform the OR operator. You know that A equals to 9 means 1 0 0 1 in binary, and this is 0 0 1 1. So whenever you apply the OR operation, for 1 and 1 it will be 1, for 0 and 1 it will be 1, and 0 0 will be 0, and 1 0 will be 1 in OR operation. So you get here 1 0 1 1. When you convert this binary number into decimal, you will get here 11. Now I am coming to bitwise XOR operator. In bitwise XOR operator, basically you have 1 0 0 1 and 0 0 1 1. So in bitwise XOR, what is happening, if you have a digit A and the another digit B, so the XOR will be calculated as A dash B plus AB dash. So here in this case you will get for 1 1 it will be 0, for 1 0 it will be 1, for 0 0 it is 0, and for 1 0 it is 1. In case of XOR, I will tell you that same bits means 0 0 and 1 1, they will get 0, but if the bits are different you will get 1. So it is here, it is presenting 1 0 1 0. So when you convert this binary number into decimal, you get here 10. So this is the logic behind bitwise XOR operator. The another thing is bitwise ones complement. So here a equals to 10 and its bitwise complement is represented as minus 11. There is a logic behind this, that how it is minus 11. So you just come here that what is the answer of first complement, one's complement of a equals to 10. So as you know that I am explaining over here, a equals to 10, the binary conversion of this will be 1 0 1 0, right? So it is an 8-bit integer because it is having 2 bytes of memory space. So you can write here like 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0, and when I am going to convert this into one's complement, so all the zeros will be converted into 1, and 1 will be 0, 0 will be 1, 1 will be 0, and 0 will be 1. So you are getting here this number. This is the first complement or one's complement of 10. But in computer you are getting here minus 11. I am going to represent the logic behind this. Actually I will be showing you that how is it equal to minus 11. You just treat with this 11. If I am going to represent minus 11 in computer, so what will be there? 11 will be, minus 11 will be 2's complement of 11, and the binary of 11 will be, what will be the binary of the 11? 1 0 1 1. This will be the binary number. In 8-digit system you can represent it 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 1. Now the first complement will be 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 0, and when you calculate the 2's complement of any number which is required over here, you have to add 1 into LSB. So you are getting here 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 1. Now you see here that this value, which is the first complement of 10, and this is the value representing minus 11. Both of these two values are same. That's why it is proved that the answer of first complement of the operator a equals to 10 is minus 11 in the computer system when you use in Python programming. So this was the logic behind this. Now I am coming to the bitwise left shift operator. So what will be with the left shift operator? I am just going to explain here. You just see here that a equals to 10. Okay, what will be the binary? Binary will be 1 0 1 0. Left shift means it is going to left shift with the number 2. Left means in this direction. So when you shift this number, binary number, into the left direction, you will get here 1 0, and in the last you will have 0 0. So it is shifted with the 2 numbers. Now I am coming to the conversion of this binary number into decimal. You will get 40 when you convert this binary number into decimal. After that I am coming to right shift operator. So you see that a equals to 10 means its binary digit is 1 0 1 0, and when you shift in right you will get only 1 0 over here, and 1 0 will look like this. So on the active window you have 1 0 only, and when you convert this 1 0 into decimal you will get here 2. So you are getting here 2. This is as simple to implement in Python program using this Jupyter notebook. You have to write all these small programs on the Jupyter notebook and you will get the required answer over there. As far as now I am coming to the precedence on the different operators. So you see here I am presenting here a chart by which you can understand that what is the precedence of the different operators. You can see, you can study this table and you can get that what is the highest precedence to lowest precedence of the different operators used in the Python programming. So today I have discussed different types of Python operators, what is the theoretical concept behind them, and how can you implement these all operators into the on Jupyter notebook. So thank you very much for being with us, and in the next video I will be coming with the control statements in Python programming. Thank you very much.